Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 96 of CrossButton VR, our journey into the world of VR. And I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by two of the brightest hopes for the metaverse. It's Alex and Reece.
Hello.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy
that's
New
the thing,
Year.
isn't it? Yeah, Happy
Well,
New Year.
Yeah.
People say, are you still allowed to say that? As it's been from 3 days. Longer
was
by the
actually-
time this goes out.
I was listening to a podcast earlier on and they was discussing that. And they said, one of them said you can set up to the 3rd of January, and another one was like, no, you can set up to the 14th of January, and they had like a big debate about it.
So it's not a debate about it. There's no rules. You do what you
I
like. Do what you like, man.
I'm going to say it on February just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Happy New Month.
Say
Yeah.
Easter. Happy New Year, people. What? Happy Easter. Yeah, it will be Easter soon. You'll be Easter eggs in there. Go down
Oh,
Tesco.
yeah.
They're ready, are.
Well, for fuck's sake. I don't mind. I'm not worried people to get grumpy about that because I'm like, fuck it. If people want to buy them, let them buy them. Let them scoff chocolate. I mean, good on them.
It's when the Halloween decorations have just stopped being sold, and then instantly Christmas decorations are being sold. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's the one thing that really icks me.
Oh, you sound so old, Reece, and you're not an old man. Stop it. You're not.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Alex, you're drinking a non-alcoholic. Is that a non-alcoholic beer there? Was that?
It is indeed to have a Brony Zero.
Oh, they're nice, those ones. They're nice.
Yeah.
I have a very exciting one. It's just called Tropical Unicorn Session IPA. Look at the can on that one.
That is
Fancy,
very nice.
fancy.
Could not tell you who
I'm
made it.
drinking apple juice because
Le jus de pomme.
we had so much apple juice left over from Christmas, so I'm now trying to get rid of it before.
Most people have so much cheese or turkey left over.
We got through like the 3rd cheese ball like the other night, so we're done with cheese now for another year.
Mr. and Mrs. T are like, we've got so much apple juice. What's going on?
We-
Games
we,
with apple juice.
we use it for like cocktails and things like that, but we ended up making like one cocktail, so we just got leftover apple juice.
I bet you
Because we both felt ill, sadly, over Christmas. So we didn't have much time drinking and things like that.
It's been going around. Anyway, people don't want to be hearing about our Christmases and our supermarket trips and our
Yeah,
our
might
beer
be
drinks.
interested in that.
Oh, they might do, but they want to be hearing what we've been up to in the world of VR, probably. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
quite
Who knows?
possibly.
Possibly. And they didn't
Mate.
they didn't get to hear us last week. Anyway, they heard you, Alex.
Yeah.
Prattling on about Balatro or whatever
And then
it is
they
that you
had
guys claim
Ben's
these days.
voice as well.
Oh,
was
well,
like
I'd
that.
listen to Ben all day, frankly.
Yeah, we all would, wouldn't we? We all would.
Yeah.
And the other Scottish guy.
Oh?
The other one.
Oh,
face.
yeah, him. He's
Yeah.
gonna love that. He won't watch this to see that.
He's got a headset. He loves VR, does Lewis.
He does. Loves
Yeah, he
laughing
doesn't.
at me at Walkabout Mini Golf.
He doesn't blame me for making
Don't
him
we
spend
all?
several £100s on the thing that he's used more than once. Definitely. But unlike Lewis, if you would like to support us, give us a sub on whatever service you're using. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And follow us on Blue Sky at CrossButton VR. And everywhere else as well, you can find us.
All
Cool.
the places.
All the places. Right, we're a bit late with this, but I realised we've not done our Game of the Year. We didn't have our Game of the Year discussion. So let's have it now, shall we? Because there's not really been much news really to talk of because everyone's been off word. No one's been putting out any press releases about VR stuff. So there's not really much news to talk about. We are the calm before the storm that is 2025 right now. So let's have a little look back and talk about our Game of the Year awards. Now, last year we did this. We had categories for different things. I couldn't be bothered, frankly, doing that again. It was too much organisation. So we have just kept it simple, and we are just all bringing to the table 4 games. Although I might cheat and just bring more because, like,
Why
I've
not?
got a couple of
Yeah.
honourable mentions.
yeah, fuck it.
So
We'll have
have
as many as we
I,
want.
so have I.
Okay, great. We all have done that. That's good. We'll just see who our nominees are, and then we'll just thrash it out, and we'll try and pick one by mutual consent who we can all kind of agree mostly on. Because my top pick might be the same as your pick, but we'll try and sort of find the least disagreeable option that we can all agree disagreeably on.
One,
something.
2, 3, fight.
And we'll just talk about PSVR2 because if we include Quest, it would be frankly boring because it would be Batman Arkham Shadow, which Reece,
it
I'm
would
looking
be.
forward to hearing your full thoughts on a bit later on in the show because I believe you've now finished that.
Yes, finally.
I mean, as the Game Award told us, that I think that is the standout overall game of the year anyway. But we'll stick this conversation just to PSVR2 games for now. So who would like to go first.
Oh,
And
I'll
just give
go
me
first.
just give me all of it
Okay.
in one go. Don't be pissing around doing like
Go
one for
on
you,
then.
one for you, one for you.
Oh.
Okay,
Just throw them at us. Go on.
Well, see, my first one's a bit of cheat, right? Because I technically played this in 2023. And I platinumed it in 2023. And it didn't come out till 2024.
I know
That's-
what game he's going to say.
That's okay. You can.
So I'm putting Toy Trains on here because I bloody loved that game. Like, I loved it. It was
Sure.
just such a great little experience. First person, I think. I would think I was the first person to get the platinum on that game.
More than
I think-
likely.
In the world.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
cool.
mean, unless he went back on the game and registered it to the server, then no. But he
I
did.
think so.
He did. He really did.
Yeah, so I mean that just had to be on there for me. It's the one game that, and I nearly didn't pick it because I thought, oh, that came out last year, but no, it didn't come out last year because I did the review and stuff over Christmas, and it came out in January.
Completely
Yeah.
slipped my mind for the same reason.
Yeah, so Toy Trains is on there. I think the one that has to be on there as well is Max Mustard. I don't think I'd be surprised if you two don't have that on your list, but we'll find out. I've got Arcade Paradise VR on there. But as much as that is because I love Arcade Paradise and Flat, so bringing that to VR across the two platforms, I think is great. And I also had, see, I've got about another 8 games here, and I don't know which one to pick. And I feel like I probably would pick BMOS. And I know it has frustrations, and I know it's not perfect, but I think the grandeur of it and it just feels like proper good sturdy VR.
It's epic.
So
I'll give you
it
that.
is epic.
It is epic.
like,
yeah.
so the airport I would put is my 4. Would you like all my honourable mentions? Or
Yeah.
would you want to come back to those?
Go on.
So,
Give us your honourable
in
mentions.
my honourable mentions, I had Rainbow Reactive Fusion Remastered because I love a wee puzzle game. That was really good.
Good choice.
Legendary Tales, even though I didn't go on that well with it, I appreciated everything that it did, and I appreciated
Yeah.
the scale of it, and it really is value for money, that game.
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
like that type of game, you could have hundreds of hours playing that game. Beat the Beats,
Good shout.
because we all really liked that back at the time. Clean Sheet, because we had a lot of fun with Clean Sheet.
Yeah, we did.
We
We
had
did
a lot
enjoy
of
that.
fun with Clean Sheet. I think this one might feature in your two list as well. I've not finished it, so I couldn't put it in my top 4, but it's Sushi Ben. Like, there's a huge
Wow,
Sushi
was
Ben.
it?
And then the last one I had was Snow Scout. So I actually took like, both games from Tuner Max because Snow Scout really surprised me. I thought, like, in terms of, we're obviously getting that, was it 90s skiing? Or I can't remember
I'm
exactly.
looking forward to that.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
90s
coming out
extreme
of that.
skiing.
Skiing, yeah. But I mean, that was a surprise more than anything. I think and it was such a good story. The skiing in it was great. Like, the skiing was really, really good. There's just been a lot of good games in PSVR2. And it's not necessarily the games that people would expect.
I was going to say
Me
they're
too.
not. They are your top 4.
No.
I mean, other than
Yeah,
Behemoth, they are. Yeah, there's some wild cards there.
I think we're all going to have one of those big AAA ones, but yeah.
But then
Well-
I don't pick things that people would expect you to pick.
No.
That's not me.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not me. Like,
and that's what we appreciate about you, Alex.
yeah. So those are my 4.
Do we
Okay.
go next, Laura? Do you want me to go?
No, you go, Reece. You go, Reece.
Okay, all right. So my top 4 that I picked was Metro Awakening. This, for me,
Sure.
simply is just because of how much I love the Metro games outside of VR and playing it in VR and experiencing the main character's story in Metro Awakening, like the actual start of his story before you see him in the other Metro games and, just going through those tunnels. Even though, yes, the spiders got me and the horror elements that are actually in the game were quite trippy at times, it was just very well done. And I think the story, like even at the ending, it kind of got to me. It was quite a tearjerker. It was just very well done all round. Yes, on PSVR2 you did have a bit of mirror, but I think I've got to the point where I just kind of look past that now, and yeah, I absolutely loved playing that game from start to finish. So that had to go on the list for me. Max Mustard, it's on there because it's a great platformer. There's not really much to say about Max Mustard that we haven't already said. We loved this game when it came to Quest, and as soon as it came to PSVR2, it elevated that experience so much more. With the haptics, they did such a great job porting that game across, and yeah, I'm really happy what they did with that. Again, another game for a similar reason, Into the Radius. yes, we know this didn't originally release everywhere else in 2024, but it did come to PSVR2 in 2024, and it's probably one of the best ports, I think, that has come to the PSVR2 so far.
So I think didn't we refer to that as the gold standard of PSVR2 ports at the time?
Yeah, I think we said like Max Mustard was like a gold standard, like a Quest port coming across.
Yeah.
But like for a PC VR port and a Quest game, we were coming across to PSVR2 into the radius, just hit that mark. It was great. It looked fantastic. The graphics were pretty much similar to the PSVR, the P version, just a little bit downgraded, but not enough to kind of make you go, ugh. Haptics were fantastic. Everything about it was just really well done. And I had a great time with it, just like I did on other platforms. So, yeah, I have to go into the list for that. And my fourth pick, Sushi Ben. I love this game from start to finish. It was so well done. No issues whatsoever. I think when we spoke to Kane when he's on the I said I had one issue with it, and that was literally me falling into a ditch and then finding out you can kind of like see through a bit of the platform, and that was it. It was the only issue that was ever there, and that didn't break the game or anything. It was just perfect all the way through. Some people have obviously disregarded this game because it's not in English, but obviously they are working on that now to make it that way. And they are casting English voice actors to do all that.
Not
us, for me. But no, not us. We didn't apply. We thought about it for a second. It was like we was going to get Alex on there, get a Scottish character. Me and Laurie were going to do the cats. It didn't really work out. But Kane, if you want us to record audio, you want a Scottish cat, and some other cat voices, just hit us up. But yeah, Sushi Ben for me, it was just fantastic from start to finish. It was silly, it was fun, and it was just very wholesome. It was just such a wholesome game. Like when you have the sushi with the different person that's now helping you, it was just really good. So absolutely love that. My honourable mentions are Overdark. For me, this was one of my favourite horror games to come to the PSVR2 this year. I've opted to try and go through it a second time for my no save playthrough, but I end up dying, which was quite funny because I never died the first time going through the game, so I stopped playing it after that. But no, for me, it was a great game. It was scary. It was very well done, and I had a really good time with that. Arizona Sunshine Remake, just because I think it showed us how far VR has come, and I had an absolute blast playing it with Alex. Behemoth, because yes, although it's not in my top 4, it's still a fantastic game and it is a lot of fun. But with some of the frustrations that I had, especially facing some of the behemoths, it's one of the reasons why I've not put it in my top 4. And I've also not finished it yet as well. I need to double back round. And I've also put Alien Rogue Incursion as an honourable mention. Yes, there is some dislike to this game for me, but I think overall, for the feeling it gives you as an Alien game in VR, it's very accurate, and that's why I put it on the list, just because of the accuracy of that. It's not something I would highly rate out of some of the other games I've put on there, but it's still one that I think is a standout title for the headset. And they did great with the haptics, just the general look, and there's barely any Mura for a game that dark. But I do think if they do some more patches and fix some of the things that I've moaned about, I think it'll be probably one of the big titles for everyone to pick up. So they're my honourable mentions.
Just give me your 4 again. Was it Max Mustard, Metro, Sushi Pen, and
Into the Radius?
So my one I first want to give a shout out to, and this would be my game of the year, and I feel like we should allow it because we did our game of the year last year before this game came out, and that's Resident Evil 4 VR, which came out not this year. That came out last year, but it was at the end, and we did our game of the year discussion, and I hadn't got around to playing it. So I would like. I would say
I don't think the game came out after we did a game of the year. I think you just hadn't played it, did it?
No, it did. No, it did. It was. I think
it was late as that. Was it after the Game Awards? Actually,
I don't know. I think it came out.
Well,
in
we
December,
did our game of the year thing quite early. We did it at the start of December, and I think it came out in mid-December.
Yeah. Fair. Right. Okay. That's
I won't nominate it, but I think.
Yeah.
I feel like we've overlooked that because of it's that classic. It's fallen in that month. Where no one.
I didn't overlook it, and I did actually think about it, putting it on my list, but I was just like, there's other games that I think have popped up, and yes, it does deserve to be on that, even in the honorable mention. Yeah, I should have said it, but at the same point, I was like, okay, there's other games that.
Okay, well, if I'm allowed it, I'm having Resident Evil then.
Yeah, whack it in my honorable mentions while you're at it.
Resident Evil. Well, okay, Resident Evil 4. Okay, I'm having that. That is just
valid.
That's just such a good It's so impressive. It's as AAA as I think we're ever going to get on PSVR2. It's so well done. It's such a brilliant. There's only a few things that you notice it's been a converted game. Usually like when you try and climb a ladders or pick stuff up that you don't need to pick up.
Or do a spin kick.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But yeah, it's some of the cutscenes feel a bit awkward when you're watching a 2D cutscene. But other than that, it's so well done. It's so brilliant. It's so immersive. It just looks so ridiculously good.
No, it does deserve to be on the list. Yeah, you're right.
It's fantastic. So yeah, Resident Evil 4, Arizona Sunshine, same as one of my picks. I just think it's absolutely.
Wait, is this your top 4 or is this your honorable mention?
Yeah, no, my top 4. Okay,
cool.
I'm allowed Resident Evil 4 now. This is now my top 4. Yeah, in no particular order. These are just yeah, Arizona Sunshine. I think that is just. There's a lot of shooters that I played in VR, and Arizona Sunshine just nails the mechanics and the quality of life. It just feels so good to play. And like you said, Reece, it's just like shows how far VR has come and the fact that they've remade it. And it makes anything else you play, like, sorry, Alien, Rogue Incursion, it just feels so clunky and awkward. And the way that this game, Arizona Sunshine remake, makes reloading and firing off the gun, it works so well, and it's probably the best. Like it's the only real sort of shooter that I really enjoyed playing and do really enjoy playing. So yeah, and it's just the tone of it's fantastic. I don't like these kind of gritty, intense shooters like Alien, Rogue Incursion. It's not my sort of game. I'm very impressed by it, but it's just not a game for me. Whereas Arizona Sunshine is so much more a game for me. The tone of it is funny. It's quite breezy in a good way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when me and Alex played the first one, like the remake, and then we went double back round to play Arizona Sunshine 2, I think it made me appreciate Arizona Sunshine 2 a little bit more, but it also made me go, oh, this doesn't feel on par with the remake, even though they made it to kind of be on the same level. It didn't feel on par, which was really weird, and I felt like the remake still felt better. But yeah, it did make me appreciate the dialogue of the character a lot more, and I was actually we was chuckling at things that he was saying, as opposed to like the first time I tried playing Arizona Sunshine 2, I absolutely hated the dialogue it was doing my head in. I wanted to mute it. So
yeah,
I should have had that in my honorable mentions. To be fair, I don't know why I missed it. But yeah,
must not have enjoyed the playthrough as much as I did.
Well, I did. I loved it. I loved playing it.
I'm quite keen to resub to PS Plus just so I can get one of you to jump in and play with me, because I've only played it in solo mode, and I think it would be even more fun.
I don't have PS Plus at the minute either.
I replayed it over Christmas, Arizona Sunshine remake, because my brother picked it up, and I went through it on veteran mode with him, and we managed to do it all within like, I don't know, a space of like 3 hours, maybe 2-3 hours.
We'll play it on easy with me, and you can get through it in 20 minutes.
It's just trying to make me feel bad.
No, I just wanted the trophy, and then I realised one of the other trophies like killed 1,000 zombies in a horde mode, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to hold back on that now.
Yeah, I think as a game, like, I'm recommending that to people now when they pick up a headset. It's just, this is the game that's such a well-crafted campaign that it's just so good to play. It kind of raises the bar, and hopefully other VR developers now making shooters like that will be like that. That's what we need to try and reach. Yeah, and I agree. I think it's better than the second one. The second one's got all that sort of pointless crafting, constantly trying to pick up things to craft that you never use. It's like you never use any of the stuff you craft.
I have the grenades when I craft them, but I do end up remembering they're there.
They're not that good. They're not that useful, so you don't bother using them. And so I have so much of that stuff. But I'm just been trained to collect stuff, so I'm always looking and thinking, I found a bit more, whatever this shit is. Anyway, I'll get back to my list.
With the remake, it's just the sausage you pick up every now and then, and
a sausage.
A sausage, yeah.
Max Mustard, yeah. That's on my list. That's on my 4. And I said these were in no particular order, but my number 1 pick is Sushi Ben. I'm so glad that you had that as well, Reece, and you had it as an honorable mention, Alex.
It's got to be on there. It was so well done.
I'll come back to it in a minute. It's my honorable mentions. I'll just cover off first. Mare, I think that's incredible.
I still haven't played that. I need to play it.
It's eye tracking controlled. It looks incredible. The whole kind of atmosphere of it is wonderful. It's lovely. And then the other two would be Metro and Behemoth, both of which are those big standout blockbuster experiences. If only they were less janky to play for me. If Arizona Sunshine has ruined games like Metro for me, and again it comes down to that
funny because Vertigo made both of them.
Well, yeah. But yeah, Metro is so impressive, and of the two, Metro would come above Behemoth, I think, for me. Like, I enjoy playing Metro more. but it's just the kind of the tone of it is although it's just quite dark and oppressive and like
it's intense at times.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's not how I want to unwind at the end of the day. Unlike Sushi Ben, which every time I was so looking forward to finishing my day so I could jump into playing more Sushi Ben, because it is just such a breath of fresh air that it's just so joyful to play and so much fun and so silly. And that's what VR is. It should be silly. You're prattling about with a stupid headset on in your living room, like waving your arms around. It should just be silly and fun. And it's so, Japanese, and the whole aesthetic of it. I just love the gameplay loop. And I love how short the gameplay loop is. It's so made for those kind of bite-sized, you can jump in, you can play it for 20 minutes and you can complete a little quest and then go for sushi with someone. The act of sitting down at a table, eating sushi in VR. I mean, I famously don't like just games where you just run around killing people. I seek out games where they're not about killing people. Stuff like Fisherman's Tale, other games that I've loved, because there's something about just in VR, just going and killing things. It's just not.
It is a very common thing that's made in VR.
Right?
Isn't it? Yeah,
so
it's
every
very
game
common.
Involves killing things. Even Max Mustard, you're killing on things, jumping on their heads. It's not quite the same. But Sushi Ben is just. Yeah, I can't wait for more Sushi Ben. I hope they make a follow up and they continue the story.
They're doing the side quest DLC that's coming out soon, I believe. So you got like more missions to do, which I'm looking forward to jump back in.
Yeah, because he's been talking about doing a big update, which will add lots of extra content as well as missions. But you could just hang out with people and just invite them to sushi, and just more stuff to do just to kind of hang out in that world. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And again, a game that has so many different mechanics and they all work so well. I can't remember anyway. There's no real jankiness to anything. It feels so easy and fun to play. So yeah, it's my game of the year on PSVR2, which is funny when you think you've got the likes of kind of Resident Evil there and Metro and Behemoth, but no, just give me a game about a guy just helping people and making sushi.
Yeah, it was incredibly wholesome.
So I mean, in terms of the only game we've got Max Mustard.
Yeah.
So we all.
I mean, what do we want to do? Are we having a top 3? Do you think? Same with the top 3?
I think we should all have to select one from our list. That's just the top game for us. I mean, it's going to be difficult.
But I was thinking, if you have a top 3, you're going to have. I think based on our top 4, if we have to have a CrossButton VR top 3, you've got Max Mustard on there and you have Sushi Ben on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's A and other, which I think is probably Metro, because the two of you had Metro.
Or Arizona.
Or Arizona. No, actually Arizona. Put Arizona on there.
Yeah, do Arizona. You know, I put it in my honourable mentions. I genuinely do think it's fair for it to be...
Overall, in terms of how much we've enjoyed...
It's a game I've replayed again as well.
I think they'd be the 3 games that we could hand on heart say we've enjoyed the most.
Yeah,
definitely.
Between us.
Yeah, okay, well that was easy.
Sorted, right, cool.
Right, well, see you next week.
Still need to rank them.
No, there isn't. Alex is completely right there. Yeah. I think that's...
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't need to rank them, but of those 3, I'd say Sushi Ben.
I mean, it's basically both of you are number 1, isn't it?
Now you're making it difficult.
Well, no, what's your favourite game of those 3 then? We don't have to. If we all say different things, we don't have to pick an overall winner.
I mean, majority rules then. Which is if we had to pick our favourite of those 3, I would pick Max Mustard.
And to you then, Reece?
Probably gonna say Max Mustard, but this is a very close tie, and it's only because I feel like I spent more time playing Max Mustard, so I feel like the longevity of it was there a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know.
You left me with a difficult one there.
It doesn't seem sure.
Well, both made me leave that headset with a huge smile every time, and that's one thing I love about VR. I mean
if this tells
I don't
anything,
think longevity
developers...
should. No, I was going to. Sorry,
you're right. A game being the length of the game shouldn't really matter. It's how much enjoyment you got from it. I'm sorry, Toast. I think I got more enjoyment from Sushi Ben.
I think you did as well. That's why I'm kind of because just from talking to you over the year.
Yeah,
I think you'd regret picking Max Mustard over it.
I really did get more enjoyment from Sushi Ben. And it's not enjoyment in the sense of I disliked Max Mustard anyway. I mean, come on, I think out of all the 3 of us, I was literally threw Max Mustard on the PSVR2 in seconds. I absolutely loved playing that. But I don't know, there was just something absolutely magical about Sushi Ben that I've not experienced in VR before. It was just
I think
everything felt new.
Yeah, it's unlike anything else I'd ever played before, and that's why it was such a breath of fresh air. And it's
And I know Ben from Toast Interactive will probably still shake my hand at me saying Sushi Ben because I know he loves it as well.
There you go. It's the safe option. I mean, if that says anything to VR developers, if our two picks are if we're torn between Max Mustard and Sushi Ben, two bright, happy, enjoyable, fun games that are just silly and fun. Like, for Christ's sake, developers, stop with the just murder, death, kill sims.
And I mean, I love my shooters. We all know that. But for a game like Sushi Ben to take it over like Arizona Sunshine, and yes, I had a blast playing that, and yes, I have enjoyed replaying it multiple times. But yeah,
I can't believe you never mentioned Breaches.
It didn't come out in 2024. Otherwise, it would have been on the list. It was end of 2023.
Is it as long ago as that?
End of 2023. I know. I was going to add it to my list. I searched. I literally looked. I was like, Breaches has got to be on there. I still play it every day. I was like, it came out in December 20. It was either November or December 23. And I was like, oh, okay. Guess not then. But no, I think if anyone bought Max Mustard or Sushi Ben, they'd walk away happy. And I think if you're not interested in having to read subtitles, then wait for the dub of Sushi Ben. I think you'd still have enjoyment with it. But I just don't think it'd feel as authentic to what the original vision is. I don't think it'd have that quirkiness and charm that some of the characters have. But that's also, I've not heard the new voice actors for the English
you never know. It might be even better.
It might be great, but I mean, it's the same thing when you watch an anime. But hey, just buy either of those games.
What excites me is if they update it and there's all these kind of extra kind of elements that you can just hang out in the game and spend more time in, and then they go on to make a sequel which incorporates all of those from day one, it could be a really special game.
Yeah. So remember Kane's saying he wants to make a sequel, doesn't he? But it's just
the story needs it, man.
Funding and things like that.
Well,
yeah, the story definitely needs it. Yeah.
Hopefully, our Game of the Year award will just renew. There'll be a huge wave of interest in the game again now because we have that power.
Surely that stamp of authority that we're giving this and giving it the CrossButton VR Game of the Year guarantees funding from someone. We'll give you 5 each.
We'll give you 5 each. Yeah, we'll buy that plush that you've just released.
I mean, it's impressive for people for the headset second year. I think the fact that there's a real breadth of games there. I think most people don't need that many games. Your average person does not buy and play that many games in a year. And I think we between us all mentioned a good kind of 10 games. I think there that any of them, all the ones you mentioned, even if they're not my sort of games, I think I'd tell people to check out if they're into that sort of thing. Yeah, there's so many good things there.
It was a fantastic year.
It was.
Well, congratulations, Sushi Ben. We bloody love you.
Snaps for Sushi.
Maybe we'll have to get them back on again just so we can.
I can't do it. My hands all
give
clammy.
Give them a virtual award in person.
Virtual award.
No, but it'd be great to hear about it.
Photoshop something up.
Maybe we'll ask them to come back on when the updates due out and they can tell us all about how it's going to work.
Sounds like a good idea.
I just out of interest, I look back on our last year's episode for our best game of the year category we did, and do you want to hear the shortlist for those as well?
Go on then.
So it was Pistol Whip, Gran Turismo 7, The Seventh Guest, Walkabout Minigolf, Rad Matter 2, Masternoid snuck on during the episode itself, and the overall winner was Synapse.
The Masternoid?
No, it was Synapse. I mean, sorry, go on.
I think if Synapse was to have released this year, I think it would have still had a tough run in, but I still think it probably would have won for me, just because I still think it's one of those VR games that the way it's made just still harnesses true power, and when you play it.
Yeah, it's got the force power.
Yeah,
real dark side.
That's all you need.
None of us have played Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I feel like now that would, in hindsight, that is my favourite game that launched last year on the headset. Just because, if I had played that, I would. Yeah, I kind of came to that quite late. I only played it this year, and was blown away by it. Loved it. So, yeah, I feel like that should have at least been on the shortlist. Now, retrospectively, we're going to add that in. But if you look at last year,
you can't do that.
Rewriting history.
It's just our show. We can do what we like. If you look at that list from last year and the list there that we came up with this year between us all, that's just absolutely fantastic. Like the first 2 years on their set. Like I say, most people don't need hundreds and hundreds of games to play. There's a good 15, 20 games there that I think are really make a strong collection of games. And we didn't this doesn't include stuff like Beat Saber and Civ Riders and stuff, which everyone should check out as well. It's like this.
I mean, there's a lot more we probably should have mentioned that we've just, like you said, that we've played so many games this year that have just either slipped our mind or we've just either forgot they released this year in a sense. But there has been so many great games. Like if I went through everything in my library and categorised them by year, I think if I was more organised with setting up a list, like with Alex mentioning Toy Trains, like that's a fantastic game. And I mean, I don't think Barbaria came out. Did Barbaria come out this year on PSVR2?
No, that was last year.
That was last year. That's a game that gets forgotten.
I'm sure that was 2022.
Yeah, I have to have a look back. But there's so many games that have released that are fantastic that have been forgotten. And, people don't talk about them as much anymore. And there's some hidden gems on the PSVR2 now. And it's the same thing when you play the Quest. You find these hidden gems. That's the best thing about the device. You're going to keep having that now. And yeah. So even Windlands 2, I mean, that's pushed right down to the bottom of the PSVR2 games, just simply because of the way that it was categorized on the store, to the point where you couldn't find it at first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another fantastic release this year. There's, I say this year, last year, but there's been so many that have just been so good.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's, I mean, there's stuff like Subside as well, which I've not really played enough of. There's Starship Trooper. There's so many good things that are worth people checking out, and I feel like we haven't even, a bit like with Horizon, I didn't get around to it in time. We probably overlook stuff just because there's not had time to play yet. So
yeah, I think there's that too. You definitely overlook things. I mean, I don't think I have finished Horizon still. I think I played a lot of it. I think I've nearly finished it, and then I was like, yeah, okay, better things come out.
Shocking.
Yeah, some would say shocking, some would agree. We'll
yeah, I mean, yeah, different things.
Exactly, and that's the wonderful thing.
Yep. Talking about people into different things, I was just going to do a roundup of some of the other Game of the Year awards that other outlets have done. There are other outlets available. The PlayStation blog.
Are they?
Yeah, they did an award on PlayStation blog for all this different things, and they had a category for best PSVR2 game. And their winner on that was Resident Evil 4. Again, just I think because they said that it missed the cut-off day last year, so they're including it this year. And then they listed in order Metro, then Phasmophobia, and then Cooking Simulator.
Sorry, what?
Yeah,
Phasmophobia.
Metro, Phasmophobia, and Cooking Simulator. Like where Cooking
Simulator? There's so many.
Yeah, people love it. It's quite high on the downloads things.
It is very high on the downloads, but I don't know.
I
feel like it's not so much hate. I feel like if you've played it on PC and then play it on PlayStation, you instantly notice the downgrade. I think that's the way of putting it.
Push Square, they had a list and they gave it to Metro Awakening as their top game of the year. And I can see why, it's an easy pick, I think, for people.
I believe Metro Awakening also won Steam VR's award, not Steam VR's, Steam Awards for the year.
Okay.
That was voted by nomination, so it's done well. I know it's not on PSVR2, but yeah, we'll just say it as well. They've done pretty good for themselves.
Yeah, no, so it's a very well-made game for sure. So yeah, Metro Awakening, and then it was Vendetta Forever, then Vertigo 2, and then Trombone Champ. So fair play to Trombone Champ. That's another one that, it feels like should have got an honourable mention. And then
I'm just bad at it.
Yeah. And then just because we love him so much, I'll give you Jammy's list. He had Behemoth as his overall game of the year, with runners-up of Metro, Vertigo 2, and Alien Rogue Incursion. So both Push Square and Jammy giving shout-out to Vertigo 2 there. Not on any of our lists. I think, Reece, you would love it. I really do think you'd love it.
I think I'm going to buy it on PC, only because I've heard a lot of people say it runs a lot better on PC.
Well, yeah, do that then, sure.
So I think I'm going to get around to picking it up, and obviously the DLC's coming out there. So yeah, a lot of people said I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, you get more for your money on PC.
I do like the convenience of PSVR2 though. Like the more I play PCVR, I still love the convenience of like the Quest or the PSVR2. Just literally turn on my PlayStation, whack on the headset, sorted. It's going through different screens and onto the PCVR. And I know a lot of people that play PCVR won't say all that, but it's, I say they're used to it. But for me, it's still one of them things where I'm just so used to that convenience of just jumping straight in. Props to the PSVR2 for that still.
Yeah, well, that was 2024, a decent year for PSVR2.
Does anyone have like a confetti bomb or anything else?
No, I used all those up on New Year's
Alex,
Eve.
Alex, you're good at editing. No, not gonna do it. Okay, cool.
We'll
Let's
just
try.
have a celebratory meow.
Meow.
See, Kane, can you get us in there?
Come on, there's nothing we can't do.
I'm going to message him after this. I'm like, we want to be the cats.
Yeah, well, we'll have to send him congratulations.
I mean, what does
something.
a Scottish cat sound like? Meow, yeah, cunt.
I'd love it if they said that to you. Like one of them in the little town.
just turns around and goes, yes, we need that as an Easter egg.
Yeah. What? Fucking.
Just a cat hiding in the corner and you go up to it, he just says that to you.
Or I could say it in Japanese or something. Wow. Anyway, Sushi Ben, well done. We love you. Honourable mentions for Max Mustard and Arizona Sunshine remake. Three great games. Three great games. I'm so happy with our 3 picks because I really love all 3 of those. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on. Unless you guys have got any final thoughts on that lot.
No, I think we're all very collectively happy on that list.
If we get 3 games as good as that this year, we'll be happy.
For sure.
I think I agree with you, Laurie. We need more stuff that is unique, not just shooters. As much as I love them, I want stuff more like Sushi Ben, more like Max Mustard.
Give me colour.
Yeah, that's all you want is just colour.
This game looks so good in the bright colours, and stuff that's all dark just looks all crappy and mirrory. So just give us nice colourful, bright games. Well, indeed. Maybe that'll be the game of the year next year. Fingers crossed. Just a port of Rescue Mission.
Any Astrobot.
Astrobot, yeah. I was jokingly going to put in my honourable mentions Astrobot, and then I thought, nah.
Well, I've always said I think they will put it next year because there's just so much love for the guy now. Now he's won Game of the Year, especially. They'll want to just keep fanning the flames of that. So it's an easy thing to do.
Can you imagine now if they ported that after that Astrobot goes and wins Game of the Year and they port Rescue Mission to PSVR2?
Yeah, I
think. You're going to sell PSVR2s. Like,
yeah. You could literally just bundle it with a PSVR2, you sorted.
Exactly. That's why it's
exactly
so easy.
What you did with the PSVR 1, sorted.
You get that game, PSVR2 for $350, and it's just a completely different proposition to people.
Maybe that was their plan all along.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
A master plan.
Or maybe they just don't know what they're fucking doing with that set. No. Yeah, I don't think so. What have we been playing then, chaps? Give me some games. What should we talk about?
Go on, you go first. I think you've got more than all of us.
Well, we don't need to talk about all of them. I will mention that I've jumped into Starship Troopers Continuum. It's a game that you guys have both played. It is surprisingly good, isn't it? It's a really fun, a bit like Arizona. I can imagine playing it with friends. It's just really good, silly fun. It's another game that I really like the reload mechanic. And I really like the fact that it's really clever that you can just reload it easily. Or if you do the slightly more tricky reload, it gives you a damage multiplier. It's such a clever trick, because then people like me that just want to keep it easy, just, okay, whatever. But people like you, Reece, that wants the more immersive, skillful way, you get the perk for doing it. That's such a smart compromise.
Yeah, when playing it more, I did end up forgetting that there is a quick reload option.
Yeah, it's
almost. But I do appreciate they've done the fact for it. I do appreciate that.
It reminds me of like old Time Crashes where you just have to shoot off screen. You basically point down and fire, and you're reloaded essentially. But yeah, the whole tone of it is fantastic. I haven't seen the film Starship Troopers for years, so it's great to just go back into that world and like, Troopers. It's great.
Yeah, I think it was after I played it on Quest with Alex and was it Paul jumped in with you? Alex and Paul, we both jumped into it, and I think after playing that the same night, I watched Starship Troopers. I just had the urge to. Was it as good as I remember? Let's carry on with the games. And,
it's very of its time. It's very of its time, right? It's
I'm scared to watch the others because everyone said the sequels are just awful.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. Yeah, don't watch them.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But yeah, Continuum, great. And I see what you mean about the Continuum now. The whole idea of the game, it's almost a bit kind of Helldivers-esque kind of mechanic, isn't it? Where you're different people every time.
Everyone's just so disposable.
Yeah, well, it fits into the whole how that game works, and a bit like Helldivers 2, really.
How you gain citizenship and all that kind of stuff, isn't it? Yeah, and you can retire your Continuum so they can get their citizenship. And yeah, I think it's really fun. I think a lot of people have moaned about it for reasons that I don't think really can be moaned about. I mean, I know some people don't like the graphics, but I don't know. I kind of like them. Again, it's bright. It makes it not feel serious. It doesn't feel like I'm playing this really stressful shooter. It just feels like I'm playing this arcade shooter that's incredibly fun.
it's very arcadey, and that's what's good about it. It's
Yeah.
good. They're quite easy to kill the bugs. I mean, it's a quest game, isn't it? So it looks like a quest game.
I mean,
and that's not a bad thing. That's fact of life. If you want to have a good multiplayer environment that you can play lots of games easily with people, then it needs to look like this.
And it's a cheap game. It's a fairly priced game for everybody to jump in without breaking the bank and just have a good laugh. And I mean, Paul in the end ended up getting absolutely addicted to it. Like, I don't know how many hours he sunk into it, but I remember him saying to me, he was like playing, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. He bumped into another bloke on there. They were both like it's on the release day. I think he said this other person had been playing it from the time of release up to like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's clearly people, it's struck a chord with people, and that's what we like to hear. But no, it's good fun.
So that was cool. I also played some Alien Rogue Incursion, because obviously we had the big chat on it a couple of weeks ago. I was really keen to jump into it after you explained it. And it's really good, isn't it? I'm very impressed by it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, no, go on. You say your thoughts, and now I want to add my little bit, because I've finished it now.
Well, okay, so my impression of it, it's not a me game in that it's very kind of stressful and claustrophobic, and I played it for a few hours, and just when the aliens, you can hear them but you can't see them, and you're looking around with your flashlight panicking. I'm like, oh, this is great, but I don't want to do this anymore. This is not the nice relaxing way I want to end my day. This is why I keep coming back to, and that's why I like games like Sushi Bear and Max Mustard and not games like Alien. So I can appreciate how well made it is, and I love being in that alien world, but I don't want to be in it. I don't want to live in that world, because it's just too intense and unsettling for me. It's just not my cup of tea. But if you like your shooters, and especially if you like alien games and these kind of action horror type stuff, then I can't imagine a better game for a lot of people out there that this is their sort of thing, because it is. To me, it seems really well made. I didn't notice any jank. It feels like a real big budget release. It's very well directed and acted, and the music is great, and the graphics are great, and the mechanics. It just feels like a really, really well made VR game.
And Laurie says all that with it being well made, but there is a game breaking bug that still doesn't seem to have been fixed. Which you've got
around it though, have you?
I have, but I've noticed the fix that I did doesn't work for PC players, and I don't know if it's working for every PSVR2 player, so maybe I just got lucky. But yeah, it's basically I had to kill myself and reload the checkpoint after killing myself. It was really odd. But yeah, after finishing the game, it has left me looking forward to part 2. I did enjoy the story. I enjoyed the characters. I found the characters to be very likable. And I think that even though there isn't a lot of characters in this game, there really isn't. You've literally just got Zula and Davis. That's pretty much it. And then you've got, the voice actors of other characters that you don't really, interact with as much as Zula and Davis, but they're there, and you get to hear all their talks and things like that. And I enjoyed all that part side of it, and hearing everything like that. And I think it made everyone.
Did you meet that Scottish alien that called you a wee cunt?
I didn't. Nah. That must have been the one I instantly shot with a shotgun.
It's a little Easter egg you have to know.
Yeah, it's just in the back of the corner, Snavely just perched on the desk. You just go over it and just that's wee cunt, yeah.
Every game should have it. Every game should have it.
Servius, if you want this in your game, just contact us. It can be arranged.
Sorry, Reece, go on. You're saying.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed the story by the end of it. And I think I had like a collective agreement. I spoke to Jamie after I finished. I spoke to Paul, and I think we all had the collective agreement that the ending part of the game, where it becomes a bit of like a retrieval thing, was a bit annoying. And I think in hindsight, when playing that bit, that's what really degraded the overall taste of the game. But then after leaving it for a couple of days and thinking about it again, yes, I still dislike that part. But the fact that the ending has made me excited for another part, I think is a reason enough for me to say I enjoyed it. It's not something I would rate as high as Metro Awakening story, and it's I'd probably give it a similar rating. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Behemoth would be higher still, just because of how cool the second boss battle was. But I think it's a solid game, but I don't think everyone should go into expecting isolation, which is not really something I wanted from this, because I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. I think like that tense isolation type of feel in Alien would have been too much, but they did a good job, and I think they took their shots at it, especially with it being Servius, and they've done a lot of arcadey games in the past. But I think they now just the feel and the aesthetic of being an Alien game, and I think that's what still stuck with me, like knowing that Like when you go to the Hive, like, and you see all that, it's just
No.
so. What?
No.
You'll get to that point, and
No.
and that's why I'm not going into detail on it. But obviously, I mean, they've shown pictures of it, and what really annoyed me is there was actually a lot of outlets out there that shared a part of the game that Service like pretty much asked everyone not to share. And when I saw places shared, it's like big outlets, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" That right there is like the thing that keeps you drawn in, and they spoiled it for people. So I'm not mentioning it, and I never will mention it because, yeah, I want everyone to experience that part. But it's a great Alien game. If you like Alien, you're going to love it. I think it's a way of putting it. Yeah, still stick to my views on it. It's not a 10, it's not a 9, it's a solid 7.
Okay.
7.5. I think I gave it. What isn't a 7.5, which I did play? Can I jump onto it? Because I've been really wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, go on.
I finally finished Batman Arkham Shadow. And I tell you what, literally, the minute after finishing this game, I messaged my brother, I messaged my mate. I think I messaged the group chat with you lot. I messaged everyone, and I did a post on Twitter, I did a post on Blue Sky. This game is one of the best VR games I've ever played. And like, I think the way I see it, it's not just the best VR game, one of the best VR games, it's one of the best Batman games as well. How accurate this is to the Arkham games is fantastic. Like, it's almost like a one-to-one of the Arkham games, crawling through vents in VR, even though it doesn't sound cool, but being as Batman and crawling through these vents, actually pushing off the vents or sliding them to the side, going all silently behind someone and choking them out. It's one of the coolest things, how they've made this, hanging upside down, grabbing the enemies and pulling them up onto the perch, and then being able to do exactly the same thing that you do in the Arkham games. For me, this was everything. I absolutely love the Arkham games, and this just made me feel like Batman. Like, every time I played this game, I was 100% immersed. There was never a moment I didn't feel like I was Batman. And I haven't had that feeling in a VR game for so long, where it completely locked me out of the outside world. I was Batman. I was following this story, and I was locked in from start to finish. And the only reason it's taken me so long is because I really didn't want to finish it. I didn't want to find out the ending. I didn't want to get to the end of the game. I didn't want it to end because it was just fantastic. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be as well, which surprised me. I'd say, looking back at it, I probably finished it somewhere between 8 to 10 hours, maybe a little bit less than that. I wasn't obviously adding up the hours, and sadly, Quest doesn't really show you how long you've been playing a game for or anything like that I can remember. But for me, it's just, I don't know. It just left me really happy, and I didn't even see what was coming in the story, the way it played out. They've done such a great job. Like,
This is a prequel, isn't it, to the other ones?
So it's based in between Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum. So literally, you're seeing some of the characters develop to how they would be in the later games in this as well. So getting to see them, even though you know what their future is going to be like in the games, you're getting to see their characters plot develop. And it's got such a great cast as well. Obviously, it's got the voice actor who I believe did Batman in Arkham Origins. I can't ever remember his name. But he's still a great Batman. He sounds great, does it all really well. He plays a few different voices in that. You've got Troy Baker in it, Elijah Wood, Tara Strong. There's so many really big voice actors and actresses in this game. And it's just, there's never a moment it doesn't feel premium. And yes, with it being in the Quest, I did play it when it first came out. There was a few little hiccups here and there, but they've ironed a lot of that out. The only thing you get every now and then now is, like, if you load up a big area, you might get like a little bit of frame stuttering, and then it smooths itself out. But literally to the point where, like, you'd be fighting a huge crowd of enemies, there was no frame drops with beating them up, and it was just, I don't know, it's just such a great experience. Like, it left me just wanting more. Like, I want more Batman Arkham games in VR. I don't want Camouflage to stop doing this. And I'm hoping that I just throw everything they have got at the next Batman game. And I'm assuming this took them cost them a lot to make, because when I was looking at the credits, it said all the other studios that helped them, and you even had like Polyarc helping them on certain things. You had Sanzaru, who obviously did Asgard's Wrath. There were so many different studios doing different things to this game. So all that piled on top of the amazing cast they had for voice acting, it felt premium. And it's one of them games that's felt that premium since playing Half-Life Alyx. And obviously they're completely two different games, but it left me with that same kind of impact that Half-Life Alyx has left me. Like, this is what VR is. This is huge. This is awesome. Like even to the point where all your fingers like move like that. Like you'll be sitting there and just going like that while you're sitting in a cutscene just playing with your fingers because you can. It's saying out that sounds stupid, but it's just such a cool experience. It is one that everyone needs to play. It really is. And I do hope that at some point Quest goes, do you know what? We've had this on the Quest for like 2 years. Let's port it over to other platforms. Because I know some people don't want to buy Quest for, various reasons. But this game just needs to be experienced by everyone. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. So that's a fantastic game. Like I'd say like a 9.5 or a 9.8 if you want a number on it.
Just give it a 10, you coward.
Oh, okay, I'll give it a 10. But it's not a 10 because of the little bit of I don't know. I don't think anything's perfect in this world.
All right, Lewis. No game's a 10. No game's a 10.
It did have some open areas that made me a bit disgruntled, but no.
No cunts.
There's
They actually do that just like a goon,
there is a part where somebody does actually say that, and I did think it was you. No, it's fantastic, and I think everyone that played it has had the same thoughts. I did manage to get someone respond to me on Twitter going, "Oh, I thought it was a bit dull when they played it, a bit safe and things like that." And I responded back to saying, "That's fair, that's your opinion." And I don't think they played it safe. I think they played it accurate to the actual games without straying from that to make it any different. And I think they had to do that because that's what they were aiming for, and what the whole combat stylization wanted. Somebody said they were playing it safe, and that's their opinion. But for me, it was fantastic. Just go play it. Go buy a Quest. If you don't have a Quest, go buy a Quest. Play that game, and if you don't want the Quest anymore, just flog it. But that game right there, you need a Quest for it. But also keep the Quest because it's fantastic. Alex will tell you why. Go on.
We're moving on to the Quest corner.
Yeah, move on to the Quest corner quickly.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I've been kind of going down 2 different avenues this week. So I've played a little bit of fitness stuff. So I'm like trying to get back in a bit more exercise. My knees kind of getting back to full fitness and trying to. So I've played a few different games and different types of games as well. So the first one was Exercise Your Demons, which is like a mixed reality fitness game where you're like in this you get these basically demons coming towards you and you just need to hit them and avoid them and dodge them. And it's just another kind of stylized way of masking a fitness game. And it was fine, but I didn't love it. So I thought, well, I didn't really like that because it's just trying to mask what I'm trying to do. So then I played this other little game which was on sale for like $1.99. It's called Punch Fit. And oh my god, this is great. So it's just this little screen comes up above you and the wee woman talks to you and it's got quite nice music and it's very simple and it's all in mixed reality and you're like, targets come up, hit them in the order they tell you, and then that's it. And you've got like 2-minute workouts, 5-minute workouts, 12-minute workouts. Like, it's exactly what I want. That £2 is well spent. Happy. But the one that I was really quite impressed with today, so I've had an exercise bike in my garage for about 4 years, which actually belonged to my grandparents-in-law and came out of their house and came to our house because we thought, oh, we might quite use that. And then I was looking into it and I bought a cadence sensor for it. So I've attached a cadence sensor to it and connected it up to the Quest today and played Hollow Fit. So basically it links up through Bluetooth to the cadence sensor and the exercise bike, and you have all these different things that you can do, and it basically you're going and cycling through these different scenes. So I'd done like this cyberpunk scene. It wasn't cyberpunk the game, but it was like a cyberpunk city, and you had to be hitting the right speeds to be hitting all the checkpoints to get through like this little tour of the city. And I'm like, I've never been so comfortable on an exercise bike because I was just quite happy, like going through this city, enjoying my time.
Nice.
Getting up, and it was like interval training, so you would have to like, it was like a big circle and you had to like hit the centre of the circle to be at the right speed, or you could be within the green zone and the red zones were to the side, and that was based on the RPM you were doing on the bike. You're like, this is just, so 20 minutes passed, I'd done 7k, like, I'm quite happy with that. Like, there you go. So I'll definitely play more of that. And it's only, I was looking at it, so it's a 7-day trial. You don't, the game's free and you've got like a free version of the game. The sensor for the bike was £10, so it was £10 off Amazon. And then it's £40 for a year's membership.
That's
for
not even bad, to
that,
be
and
fair.
and that's not bad. And it does. You can do it in a rower. You can do it in an exercise bike. You can do it in an elliptical trainer. You can do. There's got a whole program in there without equipment as well, so it does all. I'm like, that's just the beauty of the Quest, like in terms of being able to go and do that stuff and gamify it, because I need a little bit of gamification in these things to actually commit
Yeah.
to it. So
I'll
that
just
was
get you to
that.
send me that link to that thing
Yeah.
and see if it works on my exercise machine.
Yeah,
That sounds
it's very
quite cool.
good. You just attach it and to little rubber bands on the pedal, and that was it.
Fair play.
But also, then the other side of Quest Experience this week, we did a little bit of multiplayer, didn't we?
Yes.
Checking out a few updates. So the first thing we were playing was Band Space, and we've talked about Band Space before, but they've updated the multiplayer of Band Space to include mod supports. It's got a lot more like modded songs in it, so they had some Coldplay. So Reece is like, we need to go play this. Let's go play it. So we went and played a couple of
That's how I
Coldplay
roped
songs.
him in with the Coldplay.
It was, yeah.
Why not? Why not?
So we did. We had a gale time, didn't we?
Yeah, I feel like we was on that for quite a while as well. Like looking back at it, I feel like we played like quite a lot of songs. We didn't slow down on that, and yeah, we had a good laugh. I mean, I feel like I think it's when you kind of you absolutely cracked me up when you walked across the screen every time after you was playing on the drums, and you'd like kind of put your one arm down and one arm up, and it was just you would just walk across the screen. And he was always at the corner of my eye, so it's always made me start laughing. I mean, I think Gangnam Style was the one that kind of then knocked us off our feet after it. Fucking ridiculous. Like, whoever, I didn't get the name, but whoever did that modded track and mapped that, you made possibly one of the hardest songs in a rhythm game that the keyboard just wasn't working properly.
Even the drums was terrible. Yeah.
It was crazy, but a lot of great songs on there, and obviously it'll only get bigger as more people start making their own tracks. It was fantastic. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. We really did enjoy playing it for what seemed an hour. Yeah.
But another game we were playing though, so this game, and this is probably a good one for any of you out there who maybe just got new Quest headsets and have Quest Plus. You do get a month's trial with Quest Plus with your headset. So what you could be playing is Party Versus. So this is a game that was made by Shell Games and is published by Oculus Publishing. So it is in the library for Quest Plus, and it's basically a up to 4-player mixed reality party game experience. So it's got all your room all mapped, it's got all your furniture all mapped, and it loads up and it's all quite neon, and it tells you where your seat is and tells you where we sit down while you're waiting. And it says, do you want to have a short game or do you want to have a long game? And the short game is like one game?
I think it's like one at a time. You keep playing as many as you want, and it's just winner of that one. And
then the other one is like 6. It's like basically 6 different games. It's the highest points over the 6 games. But it's like really random games. So like to select a game, so you've got this it's mapped your room. So you've got like windows, which is like windows into the other person's room. So like the person you're playing against, like you're in one side and they're in the other. So like the first thing, some of it can just be you're both doing the same thing in your rooms. And it's like the fastest to do it or something. So it was like there was balloons that kept like appearing in your room, but they'd all have numbers on them, so you had to go and burst them in order. So it's like it would just start with 1 and 2, and then it would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I had the disadvantage because my room was bigger, so they were much further away and over the place. Whereas Reece was in a small room, so he could have.
It's one thing I've noticed about a lot of games in mixed reality. Although I do have a sofa and I have like a PC chair and I had the clothes all up as well. It was not ideal time to play mixed reality. But the small room advantage did help me a little bit on some of them.
But some of the other games, there was like one called Sticky Potato. So there was like a little
You're making stuff up now.
Would appear in your ceiling. So like this little hatch would appear from your ceiling, and this potato bomb would fall from the hatch, and it was basically like hot potatoes. You had to throw it to each other between the rooms, and whoever it exploded on, the other person got the points. But it stuck to you, so he got one stuck to my backside. So I didn't know it was there, and then this like bomb blew up in my bum when he got the points, and it was like then I knew that he had a desk in his corner of his room, so I kept throwing them under the desk.
I was literally kneeling down, putting my hands underneath his desk, trying to grab these sticky potatoes. But the other thing I found really funny as well is I think it's like the first or second one that he threw. I think it was stuck to my chest, but the first one he threw, literally he launched it right at my face. And he knows what I'm like about anything going directly like impactful towards my eyes in VR. Like, I mean, tennis games or back when I played Masters for the first time, it's like as soon as you see something come towards your face like that, and I was like, proper jump back and everything, but yeah, noticing it sticking to your body. But yeah, I was literally on my knees crawling under stuff, trying to grab these things and throw them out of the room, like literally just like throwing them behind my back because I didn't have time to turn around. But that was incredibly fun. Like, Shell know what they're doing when they make a game, don't they? Come on, like, it's just...
That sounds great, yeah.
And it was all like, so the person who's then winning, it puts like this neon crown on your head, and then it's got your scoreboard coming up, and then at the end you've got like this disco ball, but you can press a little star on your hand and you get glow sticks, or you get magic wands, or you get sparklers, and it's just so random. Like, if you had 4 people playing this, like maybe even like a night where you're having a drink or something in the house and kind of catching up virtually, like it would be so much fun. Like, it was just so well done. And I think if you've got Quest Plus, go and try this game. And if you've got a Quest and you haven't activated your month's free trial or 2 months free trial of Quest Plus, then go and try this game.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think you would have a lot of fun with it with people, and it's all your avatar that you've created that's in the game as well. So it's like,
that's another thing I like.
Like you're there, and it appears and like suddenly you're sitting in your room and like your like Reece's avatar just appeared in front of me, like he's in my room, and it's just.
That's what I found quite funny, because obviously after every match it was telling you to sit down, wasn't it, and me to stand in a certain area. And then every time you sat down in that certain area, when you came back into my room, you was actually sitting on my sofa, which just added more to this like sense of you being there. Because I was like, even though you wasn't perfectly sitting on my sofa, your legs were through it and things like that, but it's still the fact that your waist height was on my sofa. It's kind of like, oh, he's actually here in this room, and I'm looking at you, looking at my sofa, talking to you. And it was just, I don't know, it's the sense of purpose. It was the same feeling that we got when we played Miracle Pool. That sense of purpose of something being there. And yeah, there was a lot of fun. Really did enjoy that. It was a great night. It was a really fun night playing VR.
I think that's it. I don't think I've really played anything else, but I've got a lot to play. But I'm back. I'm trying to find my I'm going to start Batman, but I've kind of found my mojo for games again, and I've got a list, and I'm going to work through it.
Well, we can hear Alex's thoughts on Batman soon, then I'll get a quest, and then you can hear my thoughts on Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Become the Batman podcast.
Why not? We're going to be talking about Gotham again.
Gotham. Well, everyone, let's leave it there for now, I think. Congratulations once again to Sushi Ben.
Yep.
And to Batman. And to Batman for being the actual winner.
And the runner-up on our list of selections as well. They're congratulations to them for even being there.
Lovely games. So why not let us know, leave us a comment, let us know what your favourite pick of the game of the year for PSVR2 would be. Because I think our lists are pretty different. There's a bit of overlap, there's some different ones. So I'd love to hear what everyone else's lists are. So please do leave us a comment and jump in our Discord and tell us what games you would pick for Game of the Year. And if you disagree with us, that's absolutely fine. Thank you for listening and watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could tell your family and friends all about us. And if you want to get more involved, don't hesitate to jump into the Discord and say hello. I've been your host, Laurie. These two have been Alex and Reece, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.